Thank you so much. We're so glad to get to take part in this very cool event, and actually reached out to Rock about this because I saw the poster announcing today, and I thought, wait, BSO is doing this wonderful space-themed concert tomorrow, and we thought we could combine forces, no pun intended, and we were just glad to be here. And so if you want to know, tomorrow at 3 p.m. and at 7 p.m. we'll do two shows with the Bloomington Symphony at the Busker Chumley Theater surrounding Hosts the Planets, which, as you might know, it's the music that inspired everything else that followed, right? We would not have Star Trek music, Star Wars, all of the wonderful sagas that we know and love without Host. And we actually have 10 tickets that Rock has, that in case you're interested, people 18 and under are always free for our BSO concerts, but maybe just talk to Rock, and he has some tickets, and hopefully we'll see some of you. And if you don't have enough with the concerts, we also have this galactic party, get it? Party tomorrow, also in between the two shows at the Mill from 4:30 to 6:30, and that'll be a catered event, and you can wear costumes and everything. I'm certainly gonna be wearing my costume tomorrow's concert. So BSO loves to share with the community, and we're again grateful to be here. So you can find any of us too when we're done, and we have some flyers and posters, and best wishes for this event today, and what a cool thing to do. So thank you. Thanks for having us.
Good luck tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's going to help set these chairs up there. Spread them out a little bit. That's markable. Okay. You guys want to maybe move down one each, and then Barbara and Jake, and is that okay? Thank you. Good afternoon. we're not always so punctual here at Harmony, starting exactly at 1, but we're determined. We've canceled this event twice in the last year and a half because of COVID, so I'm determined to get it in today, and there is some rain coming through. So welcome to this Hall of Honor ceremony for the Harmony Elm Heights Hall of Honor, and also Captain Janeway's birthday celebration. I want to introduce our honorees today. First of all, this is Barbara McCrae Taylor and Jay Taylor, and between their families, they attended Elm Heights here from 1949 through 1964. Several siblings are involved that they're representing today from around the country. And then we have Carl Cook, who attended Elm Heights School here from 1968 to 1974. And then we have Captain Janeway, who will attend Harmony, but it will be called Meadows at Harmony in the years 2348 to 2354. So we want to welcome our honorees, and I then want to thank the committee that helped put this together, which also was a challenge. As I said, we had to cancel the event 3 times. We had a 6-person committee, one of which was in a serious car accident, another one who developed a serious ailment that landed her in the hospital, and then then the other one got COVID a few days ago. So, but I want to thank them all. So, Wes Sturdivant, who's doing our high school media teacher. Wes is up here, and who else? The people that aren't here are Elaine Bonadies, Megan McLean, Erica Bruce, who's up there on the landing going into the school. Erica's our high school science teacher who's been teaching a class on the science of Star Trek that she has an exhibit on, is on the committee. And then who else is on that? Oh, then Peter, the president of the Janeway Collective, who's just been a really, really great resource for us. So thank you for our committee. And then some extra people. Jared's not here yet, but the people that rigged this up last night in the wind and the rain the last couple days. And we've never had to do this before for an outdoor event because we've always had the opportunity for any outdoor event we had planned. We knew we could move into the gym if there was a chance of rain. Today, because of COVID, we're not going to take advantage of that resource we have. So I want to thank Jared and Mark Robinson for setting this up. The way this came about, this whole idea of the Elm Heights Harmony Hall of Fame, really is primarily a committee made up of Dave McCrae. Dave's here also, Barbara's brother, who attended Elm Heights here just shortly after Barb, and Bob Appleman, who's here, who attended Elm Heights too, as a peer of Dave, I believe, and a fellow named Frank Young, and a man named Jay True, and a woman named, is it Ann Binkley is the person, is it Ann Binkley, Dave? And Ann, that committee and I got together about 6-7 years ago, along with Fern Goodman, our development director here, and said we wanted to start preserving in a more intentional way more of the legacy of Elm Heights. So with their help, we created this Hall of Honor, and the first inductee was a man named Tom Teeter, who passed away several years ago. But we dedicated a room to Tom Teeter, who was an outstanding National Science Teacher Award recipient. And we did a ceremony back in 2018. And we had some big plans to move along pretty quickly with getting this idea going, and then we got interrupted these last couple of years with the pandemic. So today we're here, as I said, to honor these 4 inductees. And first I'm going to the first inductee is going to be Carl Cook. And Carl and I have known each other for about 25 years now, I think. And Carl is, I think, one of the most creative problem solvers I've ever met. And that makes sense because his experience has been as an engineer, scientist, and business leader. And he's helped me come up with creative options concerning many issues that I've faced over the last 25 years. His parents introduced us, his parents, Bill and Gail, were supporters of Harmony before I met Carl. And when Carl moved back, I think it was from Pittsburgh at the time, if I remember.
North Carolina, yeah.
Pittsburgh, North Carolina. Anyways, and so all that time, he's just been really help to me and Harmony School solving many, many different issues here. But his creativity actually presented a little bit of a challenge to me when I tried to think about how to honor Carl and his family for all these years of being friends of mine and Harmony. And I knew that I wanted to honor you in a way that was a little different. So when I came up with this idea of inducting him into this Hall of Honor with a person from the 24th century, he liked the idea, and it didn't really surprise me. I thought he was a good sport about it, but I certainly did not want to diminish the appreciation that Harmony and I have for his friendship and his family's friendship. But he was intrigued by meeting somebody from the 24th century. I think that's one thing you haven't experienced yet, right, Carl? Till today. So, when Harmony was given this building by the Monroe County School Corporation back in 1985, we pledged to maintain the legacy of Elm Heights School. And that legacy, had gone from 1926 to 1982. Then there was a 3-year break, and the building was donated to us in 1985. And this legacy is multifaceted. It's not only a historic building, actually it's the oldest school in the state, still being used for its original purpose, and also with no wings added onto it or additions. It'll be 100 years old in 1926, so we'll be having another celebration near that time. The student body here was also, part of that legacy was the student body was very the socioeconomics of the student body here was very diverse. And Harmony has pledged to maintain that commitment as well. So we want to maintain the historic legacy of the building and of the student body being a very diverse student body. And then we also wanted to continue a high quality of education. And Carl has contributed in so many ways for us to be able to maintain that commitment to those three purposes: the building, the diverse student body, and the quality of education. So I hope that this idea to do this in this unique way today was good, but not to my surprise, Carl came up with a creative idea on how he thought would be the most appropriate way to honor his family. And so it's a little out of the box thinking, but in 1983, Carl's family helped put an elevator in the soccer stadium, the Bill Armstrong soccer stadium, and the plaque that was put up in the soccer stadium was lost when the soccer stadium got rebuilt. So Carl his request was that we do a replication of the plaque and put it up in our elevator with the original inscription that his father wrote. So we'll be putting this up in the elevator, and what it says is, And this is signed by Bill Cook, 1983. And what this says is, this elevator is dedicated to my mother, Carl's grandmother, Cleo J. Cook, born August 9th, 1892. She set high expectations and persevered with hope and enthusiasm until she found a way to reach her goals. Use this machine as you also aspire to go upward. But remember, there is more than one way to reach your destination. Bill Cook, 1983. So.
Well, thank you, Rock, for that. All those very, very kind words. And it's nice to be here. It's nice to see the building in basically its original condition, and looks about the same as it did when I went here all those years ago. And no, I've never been part of a ceremony with somebody from the 24th century, so that makes this fun. But I'd like to say a thank you on my own, on behalf of the family, a thank you to Steve Bonchak and all the faculty and staff and student body and alumni of Harmony School, because I often get asked, because I've done a lot of historic preservation, why do buildings get in such bad shape? And I said the reason that buildings get in trouble, they were built for a purpose. And at some point that purpose, whatever it was, goes away, and then you're stuck with a building. Harmony has given this building a purpose, and it's the same purpose it was built for education. And without Harmony School, I'm not sure this building would still be here. And so I think I support them because they're the real reason that this building and this anchor to this neighborhood and community is still here. And so I want to take my hat off here for Harmony School for all these years of them caring for and using the building for its intended purpose. Thanks. And yeah, this plaque has been years in the making. He's asked so many times over the years, I really want to do something nice for your family. And I came up with this idea because, and it was years ago, and my dad said, they can't find the plaque. I had that nice plaque made and nobody knows where it is. So those of you in the university, if you stumble across a plaque, that's, been misfiled in a chemistry archive or something, let us know. But the problem was I knew roughly what the text was, but I couldn't remember it enough to recreate it. And finally, somebody that had worked in our marketing department found some old pictures that were taken when the plaque was dedicated, and with the magic of computers, we were just barely able to enhance the photos enough that we could make out, between two different photos, we were able to make out the original text. And I can't tell you how happy I am, because I thought this thing was really neat and cute. And you had to have known both my dad and my grandmother to really understand this plaque. But I can't tell you how glad I am to see this plaque back on an elevator, not in its original elevator, but it's back on an elevator here in Bloomington. So at any rate, thank you, and we'll move on with the show.
Can I just leave this here? We don't want to lose it again.
No,
so I'll keep an eye on it. When I read what was on the plaque, it was really so relevant. Peter was there when we read it from the Janeway Collective, and people more familiar with some of the Star Trek language than I am. And I remember Peter commenting how appropriate it happened to be going upward, and the inspirational tone of it. So next honoree is the Taylor Sewer family that I said ranged going here to Elm Heights from 1949 to 1964. And the relevance of that family to this particular event, besides the what many of those people have done with their lives, the specific connection is Jerry Taylor, who was the creator of the character Captain Janeway in the Star Trek series Voyager. And what we have here today is Jerry's brother, Jay, and sister-in-law, Barbara, to represent Jerry and the whole family.
Hi, my name's Aaron Walke. I'm the co-executive producer and head writer of Star Trek Prodigy. I just wanted to pass along my heartfelt congratulations to Jerry Taylor on this amazing honor with this amazing school. Jerry had a profound influence on Star Trek and on myself as a writer. I myself am also a Bloomingtonian. I went to Indiana University, and my dad and my grandparents are from Bloomington. And I had the immense pleasure as a college student to read her personal annotated scripts and stuff that she had donated to the university, and it had a profound impact on my own writing. So, it's been my supreme privilege to honor her legacy and continue it on Star Trek Prodigy with her work on TNG and especially Voyager. So I just wanted to pass along my heartfelt thanks and congratulations, and wow, what an honor.
So I think, Jay, you're going to speak first, and then Barbara's going to make some comments as well. This is Jay Taylor from Indianapolis.
Thank you, Rock. As many of you probably know, Star Trek was the creation of Gene Roddenberry. Spurred by several great novels about the world's exploration of the world by sea, he conceived of a TV series involving the exploration of our galaxy by spaceship. The first episode of Star Trek occurred in September 1966. The series lasted but 3 years and 79 episodes. NBC was not enthusiastic about the program and initially gave it a very minimal budget. So minimal, in fact, that they had enough money to make a model of the USS Enterprise, but they didn't have enough money to make a shuttlecraft to fly the cast down to the planets that were being visited. So to fill that obvious void, some very bright writer came up with the concept of a transporter beam to fill that obvious void. Thus, the need for a shuttlecraft disappeared, and the phrase, "Beam me up, Scotty," arose. The original series was very avant-garde, with both gender and ethnic diverse cast of the crew, along with episodes that confronted many of the social issues of the time. Notwithstanding the fact that this program won in its 3 seasons 2 Hugo Awards, which were the science fiction version of an Emmy, its viewer rating was not high, and NBC decided to cancel it after 1969. Gene Roddenberry believed in the show, and after its cancellation, he bought all the rights to the show from NBC for a few $1,000s. He syndicated the shows on the rerun market, where it took on a new life and became a cult favorite. This prompted an animated series in 1973, 2 movies, Star Trek the movie in 1979, and Star Trek The Wrath of Khan in 1982, and a new TV series called Star Trek The Next Generation in 1987. My sister Jerry came to the Star Trek franchise late and it's toward the end of its run. Jerry had no idea what opportunities her book would create for Bloomington and for Harmony School. She was amazed when I told her about the statue being erected on the Beeline Trail in downtown Bloomington. She was even more amazed to learn of the honors being bestowed upon her by Harmony School. She wishes me to convey her very humble but great appreciation to all that were involved. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Jay. Thank you.
Just go on. Oh, thank you. I'd forgotten. Do you want to announce?
Well, I can do it at the end of your speech. It's okay.
Okay. Not quite as tall. Well, I'm really happy to be here at Elm Heights, my grade school. And now that it is Harmony, it is just wonderful. I don't know very many people my age who get to see their grade school in basically the same condition that it was when they were in that school. I attended Elm Heights from 1949 to 54. My two younger brothers, David is here. David just a year behind me, and Ed 5 years behind. I think, well, I've been asked to talk a little bit about Elm Heights back in the day, and it was just a wonderful, wonderful school. It was a very diverse neighborhood. We lived on Maxwell Lane, and I don't know the eastern boundary exactly. Boundaries were a little more fluid back in the day, but basically Ballantyne down to South Walnut, south to Hillside. So it was a busy school, and that post-World War II growth was amazing. When we moved to Maxwell Lane, we had a woods behind us, and now it is full of home. Well, soon, Highland Avenue, Ballantyne, I can't remember all the names, but it grew dramatically. It was fun to go home with kids from other areas of Bloomington, and almost everybody walked. I don't know what it is, maybe 7 blocks from Maxwell Lane. Certainly, I went home with the kids near South Walnut, down First Street, and we walked. And believe it or not, rain or snow, we put on our gear and walked to school. I don't ever remember a snow day. There may have been one. I just know that we were expected to be at school. We had really good teachers at Elm Heights. And I'm learning from Carl that maybe one of the favorite teachers, Mrs. Daniels, continued to teach here. I think David can talk about Mrs. Daniels. He really fell in love with her. But even though we had approximately 40 to 50 kids in a classroom, the 6th grade room, the corner room right up here was big, big room. And I know we had 50 in my 6th grade class. But for the most part, we were pretty well behaved, considering what chaos could have gone on. They also believed in letting us exercise. We had a morning, a noon, and an afternoon recess, all 3. Got us out running around doing things. Occasionally, if it rained for about 3 days, they would show a cartoon after they cleared the gym of the lunch tables, and we would watch a cartoon. And also remember, we weren't watching TV. So this was pretty exciting. But we had everybody on the playground at the same time, and it was pretty orderly. You could definitely hear the bells ringing, and you were expected to come in. We did not line up. We just kind of mushed our way in, mostly the middle door there. And the lunchroom itself was fun. They put up really long tables, folding chairs. So kids had that job, set that all up. Lunch, I think the whole time I was here, from 49 to 54, was 25 cents. It was prepared in the kitchen. They were good lunches. So I remember my dad doling out the lunch money of $1.25 every Monday morning, and that paid for the week. It was, I think my highlight probably was the Elm Heights Carnival. Every year, I believe in the spring, I'm not sure, but every room was transformed into some kind of game. And this was a big moneymaker for the PTA. So we had games of chance, a cakewalk, win a cake at the end, little plays being put on by students. And it was very, very well attended. We bought tickets for probably a nickel and handed them at the door. Because we had such a large geographic area, at that time, sixth graders could choose which high school they wanted to go to. Well, actually, it was junior high. We could choose to go to Bloomington High School or University School. And those were both 7th grade through 12th grade. So that's certainly a big change from what we have now. Being a junior high kid, passing in the hall with high school kids definitely kept you under control. You didn't want to mess with them. I attended university school, but because of the area, continued to visit with friends who went to BHS and were some of them still friends today. I'm delighted to see, really delighted to see this beautiful school remain a school. Thanks to many, many people in Bloomington. I think it is remarkable. I'm looking forward to the 100th anniversary. And I think the other thing that, as I got to walk through the school, I'm really impressed by the creativity of the teachers and the students. We'll see a little bit of that. But I am sure, I'm really hopeful that Harmony will continue the success it has had far into the future. Maybe not 2354, I don't know, but it's possible. It's a great school, and they've done a wonderful job keeping it looking really great. Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry. Do you want me to do?
Yes.
I'm sorry. My brother David learned that one of his Elm Heights classmates, John Bowen, passed recently. He went to Elm Heights and University School. And so we'd like to ask just for a moment of silence. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Forgot to-
Stay here for a second.
Oh,
Jay, so the plan is to name the room after Jerry Taylor, Jay Taylor, Barbara McCrae Taylor, their siblings, Rob and Lynn and
Steve, name
Steve, and we haven't decided on the total name for the room yet, because we want it to be the room that tries to promote Jerry's creativity around creative writing. Her papers are at the Lilly Library, and around science creativity. So we want to promote the kind of science curriculum and creative writing curriculum that we already have here at Harmony, but to build upon it more with Wes's media class as well. And so instead of giving a plaque, we just made this little memento for today for you guys to keep. And that's for you guys. So, and it says, the Jerry Taylor, Soar, and Jay and Barbara McKay Taylor Family Room, May 21st, 2022. So,
Very nice.
Thank you. Thanks, Rob.
thank you. Please. So our next honoree is Captain Janeway. Catherine Janeway. She actually is not yet a captain, I don't believe. So, and before we introduce Catherine, we have some videos for you to watch. Yesterday was her birthday, is my understanding. Is that correct? Yesterday. So this is a happy birthday party for her, as well as a kickoff for the Jerry Taylor Family Room. Go ahead.
Captain Janeway inspired a generation of young women to pursue STEM.
Janeway has probably been the biggest female role model for me. I learned the huge value of friendship, and Captain Janeway was at the helm of that.
Captain Janeway was the captain of the century. Janeway pushed new ideas on the term leader into the world at a time when we really needed that.
Captain Janeway was really the one that got me through my PhD. I discovered Voyager when I was in graduate school. I was by myself, I was living in Scotland, I didn't know anyone. Akin to being lost in the Delta Quadrant, not knowing anyone, trying to find your way home, and needing to rely on science was something that really spoke to me.
I stepped into my STEM career at a time when the female empowerment movement had been in full swing. And I owe so much to the women before me who took on those challenges, and I think Captain Janeway is the embodiment of those women.
Happy birthday to you.
I want to wish you a happy birthday, Captain Janeway.
I'd like to wish Captain Janeway a very happy birthday.
I just wanted to wish my favorite captain, Captain Catherine Janeway, a very happy birthday.
Happy birthday to you.
If there is a party and I am invited, I must warn you.
From her favorite ensign. Happy birthday, Captain.
Happy birthday, dear Captain. Happy birthday to you.
As a Vulcan, I'm not much of a dancer. Live long and prosper, Captain Janeway.
Happy birthday, Captain. Thanks for getting me out of prison.
Now, let's grab some coffee and go explore that nebula.
Thank you, Rock, and thank you to my wonderful crewmates for their birthday wishes. And hello to you all from the 24th century. I hope Starfleet will forgive me this slight breach of the Temporal Prime Directive, but on this occasion of my induction into the Harmony or Elm Heights Hall of Honor and my birthday, I felt I simply could not miss being with all of you today. What the Taylor family, Harmony School, and the Janeway Collective begin here today with the establishment of the Jerry Taylor Family Room will change not only my destiny, but the destinies of so many others. Because of the courses, ideas, and initiatives born here, I know many will follow in the footsteps of great thinkers such as Da Vinci and Spock, focusing their creativity and passions. Of particular interest to me, and I know to Harmony and the Collective, is the impact my story has had and hopefully will continue to have on many generations of young women who I have helped to realize their strength and potential. Hearing them speak today, I am reminded of the legacy of women who made it possible for me to be here, and I'm honored to have been that for so many others. My time at Harmony, now known in the 24th century as Meadows at Harmony, fostered my love of learning, both in the sciences and the creative arts, through innovative and thought-provoking techniques that encourage the kind of individuality that separates us from Borg-like conformity. I can assure you that the Harmony ethos of a cooperative effort and a vision to bring education to all lives on to this day. Harmony will continue to shape the minds of the best and the brightest in the Alpha Quadrant. I grew up in Bloomington, and no matter how far I've traveled in this galaxy and beyond, no matter what strange and amazing things I have witnessed, I've always recalled this as a place where my mind was filled with awe and wonder. Many times during my crew's long journey in the Delta Quadrant, as I sat with a cup of coffee in my ready room on Voyager, thinking of my time spent here brought me comfort. The next 300 years or so will not be without their conflicts and obstacles. Do not be deterred. Go forth. Seek knowledge. Pursue the most ambitious goals, and fear not getting occasionally lost. For even if you do, the journey is wondrous, and home and harmony will always be with you.
So let's hear it for our 2022 honorees. So it looks like we beat the rain, and again I want to thank all of you for coming and thank our 4 honorees and the rest of the Taylor family and the Sewer family that can't be here today. I want to remind you that the Elm Heights Neighborhood Association is represented here today by their president, Eric Ost, and they have a table if you want information about the Neighborhood Association, which was one of our sponsors. The Janeway Collective also has a table here, and with a place where you can get your picture taken with that Catherine Janeway. This Catherine Janeway is also available to have her picture taken with you if you're interested. And then we have the Harmony exhibit up here of the kind of curriculum that we've been able to create just this last semester, and who knows what can happen in the next 300 years. I want to remind people also that the Irish Lion, which has been a partner to the Janeway Collective, they're serving non-alcohol and alcohol drinks today and tomorrow still. So after this, if you want to stop in at the Irish Lion, they're having drinks. And I think that's it. So Rasta Pops, I want to thank Yudi and Linda for bringing Rasta Pops today. And we have popsicles for sale. And again, I want to thank all the people that made this event possible. So live long and prosper. So, yeah.